Alright, what is up you guys? This is John here again with part 2 of my last tutorial. Don't really have time for an intro, so let's jump right into it. When you start from the last video, you should be on your third layer of popsicle sticks. And on the third layer, you would just put one popsicle stick down instead of the 3 like before, so just one in a row, and you put them halfway in between the space, or the gap. So basically, like half of the popsicle stick should be directly over the gap of the popsicle sticks under it. So you just hot glue them down just like so, and it should look like this when you're done. So yeah, the whole thing should just look like this. So you have 2 rows of 3 and 1 row of 1. And now you can probably guess what you have to do next. Do the same thing on the back. So now it is double-sided. So now's the fun part. You will use your about 14 of these sheets, I think. Or I lied, 7 sheets. 7. And you will draw an outline on your first sheet. This will be for the top of the blade. So just draw the outline on the sheet. And just fix it if it needs fixing. After that, you will then cut out the shape that you just drew onto this sheet of paper. So you'll cut it out just like so, and try to make it as neat as possible. And you want to leave some space because you will need it to touch the bottom. It'll make more sense later. But then you will just draw another one and cut another one out. So now you have both sides of the blade done, for the top of the blade at least. And now you'll do the same thing for the body of the blade. So you'll just draw these 2 lines. And you will cut along them just like so. You will then take this sheet and put it over your other sheets after you make sure it fits. So it's a good fit, so you just put it over your other sheets and outline it and then cut them out. Just keep doing it. And you should end up with about 4 body sheets in total. And now you will do the base. Outline the base just like so, and cut along the lines. Then you will put it over another sheet and outline it, and then cut along the lines again. So you should end up with 4 body, blade, paper things, and then 2 bases and 2 points. So in total that's about 8. So I was close enough. 8. You need 8 of those sheets. So you'll now round these sheets by basically folding them in half, but not folding them in half fully. Just like putting pressure on them, so they'll keep that shape. So it should look like this when you're doing it, just lightly. And this is just to make it touch the bottom base thing, so you can glue it to the base of the sword. You want to make sure you have enough hot glue to hold it down, so you might have to redo some parts of it. Just try to keep it as neat as possible, and try not to use too much hot glue, but you want to use a lot, just not too much. And don't make the same mistake I did, so try to push the point up all the way to the top of the blade, because I have like a huge gap between the top of my blade and the sheet. But now you around the other side, and yeah, just hot glue it down just like the previous side. And you might want to start with the top so yours doesn't look like mine. I learned from that on the other side. So one side looks good and the other side is like has a gap. So yeah, you just put the hot glue down, try to put pressure on it to hold it down. It might take a lot of hot glue. I know I used a lot. I used about 3/6 total, just for this top part of the blade. So you just want to make sure these are as close together as possible so the edge will look as clean as possible. And you'll do the same thing to the other side. And it should look like this. And when you're all done, the whole thing should be put together the same way as the top of the blade, and you should have something that looks like this. And the base works the same way. It's not really any more difficult than the rest of the blade was. You just hot glue it down and make sure everything is down nice and neat. And on this part, I cut a piece of the sheet and I overlapped it, so there's a like a blade hilt thing right there. But then if you want a better handle, you take 3 of these sheets and you will wrap them around the base of the blade, the handle, and you will hot glue them down so it will look like this when you're done. And that'll just make it easier to hold overall because it'll round the edges. But yeah, if you enjoyed this tutorial, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.